Brilliant. Thank you for joining us, Chris. Really appreciate it. We thought we'd have an informal chat, really, just about your experience, how things are going for you. Obviously, a lot of change in your role at the moment. Obviously, you're quite, you've done a lot of events with us and stuff. You've got a lot of experience to share. So I thought we should go first. So I'll hand over to you, Chris. Do you want to introduce yourself, your role, what you're doing at the moment, and a bit of a history for us?
Lovely. Well, thanks for having me on, Damien. Absolutely beautiful to be here today. Well, I'm more famously known as being Chris Dyson, proud head teacher at Parklands Primary School. But 3.5 weeks ago, that all changed as I took on a new role, being the proud Deputy CEO at the Create Partnership down in Birmingham. And first of all, huge love for Parklands, and it was absolutely beautiful and brilliant to see that succession planning worked wonderfully with the lovely Laura Darley becoming head teacher, who was my deputy. So hopefully they'll continue their road to excellence. But as I said, I've taken on a new challenge now, working with 4,000 children in 4 huge primary schools in Birmingham, where we just want to make children's lives better by, sharing the great things that you do at Nexus.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So, like I say, I thought we'd have an informal chat today, talk about, your role. How are you linking at the moment compared to obviously your old role in terms of the procurement side of things with the school, buying products and so stuff? How has that changed for you now? And how have you found that change, I suppose? Because obviously every school, every trust is different.
Well, one of the big changes I found from being a local authority school to being part of a trust or a MAT is a local authority head seems to have a lot more autonomy over sort of spending money. You can spend over 5,000. You can spend up to £5,000 without going to your finance committee and things. Whereas in a multi-academy trust, your budgets are sort of controlled more centrally, and head teachers have around about £2,000 or £3,000 to spend. But then any sort of big purchases need to go to the sort of directors who meet on the first of the month to give the go ahead. So it's being a public limited company, their finance laws are a lot tighter and things. Yeah. But that doesn't mean to say they don't spend. If you find the right product at the right time, it's spend.
I love it. In another life, you should have worked in sales, Chris. In terms of obviously everyone's time poor at the moment in every sector, but especially teachers and head teachers, how do you find time to research new solutions? And because it's a lot of the feedback we get, it's really difficult for heads, school business managers, governors to go out there and actually find what they're looking for. It takes hours. You've got to field the sales calls, the emails. How do you find time to do that? And what mechanisms do you use to cope with that, really?
Again, it's very, very difficult. This is why you Nexus Ed's filled in a beautiful gap in the market, because to see a product before I came across you guys, you'd either have to go down to the Bet Show or down to one of the brilliant education shows that are around the country, because you don't tend to Google search and you don't tend to find products on the internet. You've got to actually actively go and see them so you speak to the right person. Because when you're reading something on Google about a product, you don't have that interaction. You don't need to ask, how can this work for my school? What are the drawbacks? What are the positives and things? But likewise, having it as an online platform means you don't have to jump on a train to London. You don't have to jump on a train to Manchester for an Ed show and things. You've got it all in the luxury of your lovely warm office and things. So
yeah, definitely. I think the thing with exhibitions is they're great usually for the CPD more than the exhibitors. I think the exhibitors are there for a reason, usually brand awareness. I think the schools are there to get to the CPD. That's usually head down, isn't it? And if they get collared onto a stand, it's been a bad day. But I think obviously it's a whole day out of at least a day. Obviously with Bet Show, it's 4 days if you're going out there for the whole week. It's a lot of time out of school when people are time poor anyway. So I think, like you say, hopefully we fill the gap in terms of what we do is only 90 minutes. Obviously, you've attended a lot of exhibitions. You've attended, I want to say 4 or 5 next working events with us.
Yeah.
How do you compare the differences in terms of what they deliver for you?
Well, as I said, you hit the nail on the head there. When you go to a smaller conference, but you've got a lot of sort of businesses in there, it does tend to be head down or pretending you're on the old mobile phone or call, or it's a case of, oh, I can't sign the checks, but I'll take it back to my head. And of course, there's nothing wrong with the head shows, being there, mingling, chatting, just having a browse. We all like to walk around House of Fraser and looking at the nice clothes. Doesn't mean say we're going to buy them and things. I said that the head shows and bet and things like that are fantastic for networking and things. But in my sort of opinion, they're too large. You know, you've got the bet show, it must have, you know, going on 1,000 different stands.
Yeah, at least.
And some things will interest you, some things you've got no interest in, some things are way out of your budget line. So, and of course, as you said, with the travel, you know, the accommodation and time is precious, you know, it's a difficult thing to do. But the thing that I love and the sort of groups that I come onto your shows with is it's 90 minutes. You know, you do your pre-prep first. So you are selecting the products that you're interested in. So for example, if you haven't got £200,000 to build a state-of-the-art brand new playground, you're not sat there listening to a brilliant, passionate, enthusiastic pitch for 20 minutes, but you're looking at things such as new sim systems, you know, assessment systems, writing things. So it's very bespoke. And as I said, the art is that this is another real plus point, Sophia, is that these pitches are around about 10, 15 minutes. They allow interaction, and then there's no pressure to sell. You know, there's no, oh, well, I thought you'd be buying something, because at the end, there's something like 4 simple options. I've got no interest. Oh, this looks brilliant. Can I have some more information? And then what I really love about it is you can request the information next week, the following month, or the following term, when it might be coming up to end of the financial year and things. So it's really bespoke. It's really honed in to what you want. There's no pressure. And this is the best thing that schools, obviously, some schools think this is some kind of con of things, but you actually get about £800 just for sitting and listening. £800, you know, for 90 minutes, deal of the century.
That's it, £800 for digital. Then we do £1,000 for face-to-face as well. So obviously with the travel and stuff, that's obviously important. I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of the time and stuff. And obviously exhibitions, a lot of exhibitors have got really important things to say, and they're really passionate. They're not, most of them, 99% of them aren't salespeople who are just there to sell to you and make money. A lot of them have got real core values. And I think a format like ours, where it engages a bit of a longer conversation, 13 minutes with each provider, the 6 providers, you get to learn a bit more about them. And I know what you were like at Parklands in terms of your philosophy, and it had to fit the philosophy and the ethos of the school. And I think that gives the suppliers a chance to put that across as well. So, yeah.
And they can sort of reflect that in their prices, because, again, one thing that I've not mentioned yet, I should be working for you, you know, here.
I know, I was about to say.
But one thing I've not sort of mentioned yet is because they don't have the cost implication of, again, traveling down to Bristol, having a hotel room for the night, traveling to set up all their equipment. They can do it through fantastic things like screen sharing and things. And it means that that allows them to offer discounts, you know, 30%, sometimes up to 50% off and things. So
because we group schools together as well, the economies of scale, because obviously you're there with up to 20, 30 other schools. If they're all interested in that as well, obviously we relay all the data to the suppliers and to you, and that collaborative sort of economies of scale is important.
And it gets those brilliant messages out, because some of the things that you've had on your site, as I said, unless you're trolling around Googling things, and if you don't go to the education shows, you're missing all these brilliant new advanced technology sort of systems and writing systems and things that enhance children's learning as we move forward and things. So
yeah, and competitions out there in terms of student places and getting numbers on bums on seats in schools. We've been talking about today at my school, and these things that put you ahead of the competition down the road. It's important, you know, especially with the academization and stuff like that that's going on at the moment. One final question in terms of the event side, because I don't want to lean too much on all that, and I'll just cover a few other bits before we finish. In terms of, I've not prepped you for this, so I'm just going to chuck this at you, Chris. And if it's 0, please tell me how much time and potentially even money do you think you've saved via Next Working compared to what you would have done if you'd have obviously sought things out yourself?
Well, again, some of the brilliant things that have been on the Britannica seems to come up non-stop, and you know. Yeah. I'm a lot older than you are, but when I was at school, when you had Britannica, it covered my entire office in here, and it was good for working out alphabetical order, which we wanted the letter L to M and things. But now when you see products like they've got, and it's a click of a button, it just comes straight onto the screen. Absolutely fantastic. With the new curriculum changes, you know, Cornerstone Education. Wow. If a school was struggling for a curriculum, that was the first go-to place. And it's absolutely brilliant how one of my new schools in my trust in Birmingham are actually fully on board with Cornerstone, got it working ever so effectively. Brilliant. Because when I chatted to the CEOs presenting,
Simon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was saying this is an absolute brilliant sort of. I'll share it round, but as it happens, our curriculum I'm really happy with. I said, but it was so brilliant to see it working so effectively. Little things like for people who don't necessarily like all the computer graphics, they like to see physical sort of movement and things. There was a mighty writer, and we invested heavily in that at Parklands. You know, good old school, you know, with felt and putting things and getting the children to come and actually make the story by sticking on as opposed to clicking and dragging from a mouse. And, you know, again, I've seen some playground equipment work, and you just sat there thinking, oh, if only I had that money. But it puts that name at the front of your head. So again, down at my 4 trusts that I'm going down to now, they all need investment in outdoor play areas, and I've got a contact.
Brilliant.
So,
That's really good. And obviously, a lot of people who we obviously run one event a year with each group we work with, but people like yourself, you've dropped me emails, other people do ad hoc needs throughout the year, and we can always introduce people and stuff. And so everything we do is free. So it's important. And advocates like yourself, Chris, you know, are really important, and keeping you happy and making sure you're up to date with the latest stuff, hopefully helps you within your role as well. So that's enough of the self promotion anyway. In terms of, just to wrap up here, what are you excited about over the next sort of 6 to 12 months with either in your role or within education? There's a lot of doom and gloom at the moment around in education, and then within everything in general. What are you excited about that's happening?
well, I like to see my role as putting positivity on anything, any knockback you get. You've got to look beyond that and look what the future's sort of going to be like. And I've got all goose pimply and things now, because obviously leaving Parklands was a real chore. Having 380 beautiful children, 70 outstanding, wonderful staff. Well, it's now time to move from from Brighton to move to Chelsea, up to the next level. You know, where I've got this 4,000 children now to motivate, inspire. But significantly, these aren't my schools. These are the schools that are run by the head teachers. They know their communities best, and it was absolutely beautiful when I spent the last 2 weeks in all the schools. And the first thing I said to the heads was that, you know, literally 3 weeks ago, I was sat in your chair. You know, I was sat as a head teacher in a school. I want you to think we're a partnership. I'm not coming in to tell you things. I'm going to give you lots of balloons, which you can keep up. You know, you can pop it, you can use it or whatever, you know, but these are your schools, and I'm here to advise you, work together to get the schools absolutely the best for those beautiful children. You get one chance for education and things. Yeah. So
definitely. Brilliant. I've just pressed record again, just to explain. Chris's camera has failed halfway through, so we're near the end now anyway. So we thought we'd just finish up. So Chris, one question from me: are you implementing Friday Fun Day across the schools that you're working in now? Because I know that's really popular at Parklands. Obviously, I read about it. It was covered in the Guardian evening, wasn't it? In terms of pupil engagement and stuff.
It was, and this is our sort of first exciting challenge, because currently all the 4 schools close, and don't everyone get your tissues out, don't everyone start crying, but all the schools currently close at 12:30 on a Friday, so all the staff have their PPA and things. So, but the first thing myself and our CEO Mark Unwin are doing, and with the head teachers, and the head teachers are really eager to do this. You know, we want the Fridays opening, you know, so the children in school learning and loving being in school and things. It's one of the best jobs in the world. Who wants to do a 4.5 day week? You know, yeah, you might start early. You want to be in all 5 days.
Well, I'm sure that didn't take much convincing, Chris, once you got your enthusiasm in the room. I'm conscious that I've taken a lot of your time already, so we'll start wrapping up here. Like I say, lots of reasons to be positive in the sector at the moment, lots of change for you as well. Just explain quick where people can find you on social media and your books and stuff like that.
So I can't got my camera up now, have I?
You haven't now.
So, but I'm at Chris Dyson HT on Twitter, and I was lucky enough last year. I had a best-selling book called Parklands, A School Built on Love, and there we go. A little snapshot there.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Chris. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your support as always. And if anybody listens to this is interested in up to £1,000 for their school group and to save lots of time and money like Chris has done, please drop us an email to hello@nexus-education.com. Send us a DM. or jump on the website nexus.education. But thank you
Just
very much.
remember, there's no catch whatsoever. It's a win-win-win-win-win for everybody.
Appreciate that. I'm going to definitely have to give you a job at some point, Chris. 100%. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Chris. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Take care. That was lovely.